Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the collapse of society. Before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. The decline of a complex human society marked by the loss of cultural identity and socioeconomic complexity, the collapse of government, and the emergence of violence is known as societal collapse, also known as civilizational collapse. Natural disasters, war, plague, starvation, population decline, and widespread migration are all potential causes of society collapse. A society that has collapsed may return to a more primitive state, be absorbed into a stronger society, or altogether vanish. Almost all civilizations, regardless of size or complexity, have faced this fate, but some, such as China, India, and Egypt, have recovered and altered. Others, such as the Western and Eastern Roman empires, the Mayan civilization, and the Easter Island culture, never recovered. In most cases, societal collapse is swift, although it is rarely abrupt. Some situations, such as the British Empire since 1918, do not involve a complete collapse, but rather a slow fading away. Environmental change, depletion of resources, unsustainable complexity, invasion, disease, decay of social cohesion, rising inequality, secular decline of cognitive abilities, loss of creativity, and misfortune have all been proposed as causes for civilization collapse by anthropologists, quantitative historians, and sociologists. However, complete extinction of a culture is not unavoidable, and in some situations, despite a drastic drop in sophistication, the new society that emerged from the ashes of the old one are clearly its children. Furthermore, a collapsed society's impact, such as the Western Roman Empire, may remain long after its demise. Collapsology, the study of society breakdown, is a topic for historians, anthropologists, sociologists, and political scientists. Experts in cryodynamics and the study of complex systems have lately joined them. The Collapse of Complex Societies, 1988, by Joseph Tainter, is a key and founding work of the academic study on societal collapse. He goes on to say that while collapse is a broad term, he sees it as a political process in the context of social collapse. He further defines societal collapse as a rapid process of significant loss of socio-political structure within a few decades, citing the fall of the Western Roman Empire as the most commonly known example of collapse in the Western world. Others have argued, particularly in response to Jared Diamond's popular book Collapse, 2005, and more recently, that societies discussed as cases of collapse are better understood through resilience and societal transformation, or reorganization, especially if collapse is understood as a complete end of political systems, which Shmuel Eisenstadt claims has never occurred. Eisenstadt further points out that for the prevention of society collapse, a clear distinction between total or partial decline and possibilities of regeneration is critical. From 300 BC to 600 AD, social scientist Luke Kemp studied dozens of civilizations, which he defined as a society with agriculture, multiple cities, military dominance in its geographical region, and a continuous political structure, and calculated that a civilization's average lifespan is close to 340 years. The Kushite Kingdom in northeast Africa, 150 years. The Aksumite Empire in Africa, 100 years. The Vedic civilization in South Asia and the Olmecs in Mesoamerica, both 1000 years, and the Nanda Empire in India, 24, and the Qin dynasty in China, both 24 years, were the longest lived, 14. According to complex systems expert Samuel Arbesman's statistical research of civilizations, collapse is often a random event that is unrelated to age. That's similar to what evolutionary biologists call the Red Queen hypothesis, which states that extinction is always a possibility for a species living in a severe environment. In today's talks concerning society collapse, societal change is suggested as a means of achieving resilience. Because human civilizations are complex systems, economic, environmental, demographic, social, and cultural elements may all contribute to their demise, and these causes may cascade into one another, overwhelming any processes that might otherwise sustain stability. Nonlinearities, or unexpected and abrupt changes, are some of the warning indicators. According to specialists, a natural disaster, such as a tsunami, earthquake, epidemic, major fire, or climate change could trigger a collapse in some situations. Other reasons like a Malthusian catastrophe, overcrowding, or resource depletion could contribute to collapse, but examinations of prior societies reveal that those problems did not cause the collapse on their own. Significant unfairness and exposed corruption, along with a lack of commitment to established political institutions, could lead to a revolution in which an oppressed lower class rises up and takes power from a smaller rich elite. The multiplicity of forms that civilizations take correlates to the diversity of failures that they experience. Deforestation, loss of soil fertility, trade restrictions, and/or increased endemic violence, according to Jared Diamond, have all contributed to the collapse of communities. Archaeologists discovered evidence of a millennium-long megadrought in Africa and Asia between 5,000 and 4,000 years ago. The drying of the Green Sahara not only turned it into a desert, but it also disturbed the monsoon seasons in South and Southeast Asia, as well as causing flooding in East Asia, preventing successful harvests and the development of complex culture. It occurred about the same time as the collapse and fall of the Akkadian Empire in Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley Civilization, and it may have been the cause. The 4.2 kiloyear event is the name given to the significant change in climate. By 3000 BC, the highly evolved Indus Valley Civilization arose in what is today northwestern India and Pakistan, and fell around 1700 BC. The causes of the Indus script's extinction are unknown because it has yet to be decoded. However, there is evidence that natural disasters played a role. In 1900 BC, the first signs of a steady collapse appeared, and by 2 centuries later, most of the cities had been abandoned. Interpersonal violence and contagious diseases like leprosy and tuberculosis are on the rise, according to archaeological findings. Historians and archaeologists believe the collapse was caused by a severe and long-lasting drought, as well as a drop in trade with Egypt and Mesopotamia. There has also been evidence of earthquakes. 2 possible seaport sites along the Makran coast that are now inland have also seen sea level fluctuations. Earthquakes may have accelerated the deterioration of some sites by causing direct shaking damage, as well as changes in sea level and water availability. Volcanic eruptions can have a dramatic impact on the climate. Sulfur dioxide, SO2, is ejected into the stratosphere during a big eruption, where it might linger for years before being converted into sulfate aerosols. Sulfate aerosols diminish incident sunlight and chill the Earth's surface because they are highly reflective. Scientists can access the archives of atmospheric composition history by drilling into glaciers and ice sheets. A group of multidisciplinary researchers led by Joseph McConnell of the Desert Research Institute in Reno, Nevada, concluded that a volcanic eruption occurred in 43 BC, a year after Julius Caesar's assassination on the Ides of March 15, in 44 BC, which resulted in a power vacuum and bloody civil wars. It was also a time of bad weather, crop failure, widespread starvation, and disease, according to historical records. Analyses of tree rings and cave stalagmites from around the world offered more information. The northern hemisphere drier, while the southern hemisphere drier. Indeed, the Greek historian Appian noted that Egypt suffered from a shortage of flooding, as well as starvation and sickness. Rome's interest in Egypt as a food source grew, and Egypt's ability to resist was undermined by the aforementioned issues and social turmoil. After Cleopatra's suicide in 30 BC, Egypt was conquered by the Romans. While it is impossible to say if Egypt would have become a Roman province if the Olmecs volcano, in modern-day Alaska, had not erupted, it is likely that the eruption sped the process. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.